was cold, but Alaska was fun. Thought we played well. Ruthie had a great time, and a lot of fan support. I think we earned a lot of Duck fans that day. So all in all, phenomenal trip. I'm glad we did it. Would gladly do it again.
How did that come about? When did you think maybe this was a good idea, and how did the pieces fall in place?
Well, I think most coaches try to get their players home, or at least close to home, at some point during their careers. And since we have a couple of long cross-country trips next year, I thought this would be the best season to do it. It fit in our schedule, and they have a brand new coach, a young woman who I actually coached against when she was a player a long time ago, so I've known her for a long time, and she was up for it. And thanks to the help of Ruthie's dad, who is a professor there at UAF, we were able to kind of put it together. So I really thank them for allowing us to go up there. They didn't have much to gain from it, other than, you know, obviously their biggest crowd in 20 years there, men or women. But, you know, they didn't have much of a chance to win the game, but they were classy, and it was just a great operation.
What did you see from the team that you hope translates into the game with Syracuse?
Well, I thought we played really hard. Sometimes games like that, you just go through the motions. That's human nature, but we didn't. Played really hard. We shared the ball well. We were good at both ends of the floor. We didn't get sloppy. Sometimes that's a byproduct of playing a team that you're beating pretty good. So actually, I was really pleased. You know, again, one of the great things about the trip was a chance to bond as a team. You know, get together and support one of our own. So, yeah, a great trip.
With the reduced roster this year, how are you managing practice and going to manage playing time and that kind of thing? I mean,
yeah.
It's got to be kind of a challenge for you.
Definitely going to be a challenge because of the numbers, but practices aren't a problem when we're at home because we have practice guys. Like, we'll have 7 or 8 here today. So we're not getting any more reps in practice than we normally would because we're always going against practice guys. On the road is when it was a little more difficult, you know, because you don't have enough to really fill the squad 5 on 5. I'm fortunate to have a couple assistant coaches, and Chavi and Mark, you know, Campbell, who you know, are certainly capable of getting out and playing when we need them. But yeah, we're going to have to save their legs. It's a marathon. It's a 6-month marathon, and so we can't work them too hard, you know, for too long.
Taking a look at Syracuse, what can you guys expect on Saturday from them?
I expect a phenomenal game. They are really good. There is nothing that they can't do. You know, normally, you know, with a team like ours, you know, very experienced, even though we're still relatively young, we're experienced. These kids have played a lot of basketball. We would have an advantage in an early season matchup because of the experience. Well, they return all 5 starters, plus a high-level transfer and one of the best freshmen in the country. So they are picking up right where they left off from the NCAA tournament last year. Very well coached. Quentin does an awesome job. They have depth, they have quickness, they have a size inside, they have a marquee point guard, Tiana. Last name's difficult to say, but she's on the Wade top 30 watch list. You know, so she's a bona fide All-American. They really shoot the 3 well, and they're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. So there's not one area that we have to focus on to stop them. There's 4 or 5 areas, and so it's going to be a real challenge for us. We need all the Duck fans out here because this is, I think, is the highest or the first bona fide top 20 matchup, I think, in the country in this season. So this should be good for all of women's basketball.
What's the difficult thing about playing an experienced team this early?
Just that, you know, they'll have more things in. You know, they have chemistry already built in. You know, they understand what they want defensively, and sometimes that takes some time to figure that out with a new team, or early in the season when you have newcomers. They don't have to worry about that, you know, and they don't do a lot of things defensively. They put a lot of pressure on you, and they run that 2-3 zone that Coach Hilsman and Jim Boeheim have run for decades. So they know what they want to do. It's a difficult matchup for us, but we're really excited. I think our kids are really ready to go.
You talked about, or you mentioned experience, and with the more experienced team that you have this year, do you use that experience to add new things, new wrinkles, or do you just want to get better at what you've done?
Both. Okay. Both. Yeah, we want to add some things here and there. Mainly, they're quick hitters. They're isolations for, you know, the the talents that we have. Like we try to get Satu isolated against maybe a smaller defender at the block because of her size. You know, Sabrina, she continues to just add to her game. Maite, same thing. They're experienced and they're pretty darn good. But you know, the rest of them, we're maybe running a few new things. But by and large, from the day they get on campus till the day they leave, they're running the basic same offense. And I think that's what makes us so good offensively. I mean, we were second in the nation in points per possession and first, I think, at true shooting percentage last year. It's because they are familiar with what they're doing, and they can get better with each year. We're not teaching them something new each and every year like a lot of schools do. So, yeah, that seems to have worked, and we hope that we're even better than we were last year.
You mentioned the zone from Syracuse. What's kind of the key to getting through that? It seems like it often frustrates a lot of other offenses.
Couple of things. Number one, you have to be aggressive. I think what they do is they'll adapt to what you're doing. They do a really good job of that. But if you just move the ball on the perimeter, you become stationary. And so I think what we have to do is we have to attack. We have to get our kids moving a little bit, not just standing. We are a very good team against zones, usually because we can put 4 players on the floor that can really shoot the 3. So, you know, but you want to do more than just pass the ball around and shoot 3. So we have to, I think, just tell our kids, be aggressive, get it inside the zone as often as possible.
What's the plan with Shea Serrano?
Yeah, Shea, I haven't talked with him yet. I'm assuming he's on campus already.
He's here tonight.
He gets in tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try and spend as much time as possible with him. I mean, he's a great guy, big supporter of ours. He's so edgy, and that's what I love about him. He's a great follow on Twitter. But yeah, I hope to get some time with him. Unfortunately, my thoughts are on Syracuse, and on game days, it's hard for me to think of anything else. My family doesn't even bother me on game days. I say stay sequestered and just trying to go over every scenario I can in the game. But hopefully we have a chance to have an audience sit down and talk a little bit.
Any pregame rituals?
Pre-game rituals, oh yeah, it's so many. I hate 2 o'clock games because I can barely fit them all in. You know, before I left, I had actually a priest at Gonzaga was going to do an exorcism. Serious, I'm dead serious on this. To get rid of all these pregame rituals that I have, because for an afternoon game, I couldn't get it all in. So I still walk on game day. That clears my mind. Listen to a lot of disco. That also clears my mind, gets my body moving. What else? That's about it. That's about it. And I try not to get bugged by anybody. Yeah. So that's it.